Welcome to Pure Hustle Podcast. I'm Mike.
And this is Orlando, and it's time for another Monday mini-sode.
Yeah, I love our Monday minis. We're back, man. It was nice to have another Wednesday episode where we're back in the studio.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the our most recent update. And if you are just watching on YouTube and you haven't watched one of our longer form content, you should check out. We have every Wednesday we drop usually an hour, a little bit more, sometimes hour and a half, somewhere around there of longer form. But this is a Monday mini, so we are going to give you quick and to the point information. And today we're talking about ways that you can destroy your eBay business.
So we're trying to help.
Yeah. These are things to avoid. So these are the things if you were to do, you could destroy your eBay business, and we want to help you from doing that. And some of these, you might accidentally do a couple of times. And so just keeping them at the forefront of your brain of this is what I want to avoid will definitely help you make more money on eBay. All right, what's our first one?
All right. So this applies pretty much anywhere. Now, there are some platforms you can't get away with this. I would say Poshmark doesn't, drop the hammer on you too much, but eBay and Amazon, if you do not have your items in stock, will drop the hammer. So make sure that when you're listing, you put the right quantity, make sure that you know how to locate it, make sure you're organized, because getting those cancellations because it's out of stock or damaged will definitely hurt your metrics and it'll slow you down in the algorithm.
Oh yeah, no, that's huge. And we've talked about ways in the past that you can kind of help avoid, if you do happen to not find an item that you sold, ways that you can communicate with the buyer to have them request to cancel or offer them. You always want to offer solutions. Sorry, I don't have this. I'll give you a discount on other items in my store. And so you want to try and work it out so that you don't have that, negative hit on your account if possible. Of course, everything you should do should be above water, right?
You always want to be able to put buyer asked to cancel. That is the best case scenario, because then it doesn't hurt your metrics. It doesn't hurt you in the algorithm, because I've had plenty of out of stock and sure enough, my sales slow down. And if you have a lot of those, I know somebody that lost top rated seller from not doing that on eBay, from just constantly being out of stock because they cross listed. So make sure you're on top of your inventory and make sure that you know exactly what you have on hand.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Our next one is paying attention to detail. I cannot tell you how important this is with so many aspects of what you're doing with reselling. I mean, to give you an example, I recently bought a couple of really nice ergonomic keyboards. And when I got home, I realized that the little compartment that had the little USB adapter piece, the little dongle, was not in there, right? So something that was profitable now all of a sudden became not profitable. And had I have checked before I bought it, I wouldn't have sourced the item, right? So there's a lot of times where there's little things. Or here's another one, right? There's times where you buy maybe a video game or a board game or something, and you don't realize that the comps that you're seeing is for second edition and you have third edition, or vice versa, right? That you have a different edition. So paying close details to the condition of something. The worst thing is when you get home, and everybody knows this because it's happened to them, and you find the stain or the hole that you didn't see when you're at the thrift store or the garage sale. And just checking to make sure, even when you're listing, did you spell the name of the item right? Did you include enough details so that people can find it? So you want to pay close attention to detail, because a couple of minutes there can save you tons and tons of money and potentially make you more money if you list items correctly.
Yeah, and making sure you pay attention to the TOS, or terms of service, right? So on Amazon, when you sell something brand new, it needs to be brand new. The box can be dented. It can have, a cut here, or it can't have any markings on it, because I know so many people that have been suspended on Amazon because they just didn't pay attention to that detail. It's very important. So you got to be careful. Condition grades for books on Amazon, condition grades on eBay. You got to pay attention to those details, because in the end, if you get that negative feedback or you end up having too much, for example, I had clippers that I was selling. I think I've shared the story before, and I made a ton of money on Amazon on these clippers. And I had some returned and they looked like they were still brand new. I resold them as new. And sure enough, the people that returned them, they did their own magic and tried to make it look new, and they were used. And guess what? Amazon banned me from selling those clippers. Now, luckily, those clippers aren't money makers anymore, but it could have been worse. I could have had an account suspension. So make sure you're always paying attention to detail. All right. The next one here is, on eBay or Amazon, do not ignore customers or buyers when they're contacting you and they have an issue with an item. The worst thing you can have on, not the worst thing, it's pretty close, but cases closed without seller resolution on eBay eBay frowns upon that. eBay wants you to reach out to that buyer. eBay wants you to make things right. On returns, if you forget to refund somebody and eBay has to step in and refund them, that ends up a case being closed without seller resolution. Again, it hurts your metrics, puts you in danger of losing to operated seller, and it can also, no, it will, guaranteed, slow you down as far as in the search, and so the algorithm won't favor you, and it's going to hurt your sales. So make sure you stay on top of, especially when they're pretty upset. You want to get back to a buyer as soon as possible and try to resolve that. You do not want cases closed without seller resolution.
That's good. All right. Our next one is losing money in fees and bad shipping. I mean, this is so easy to do, especially when you see a lot of people who promote the idea of, you can buy something for this price and sell it for this. And they're not taking into account the cost that of all the fees and the potential cost of shipping. And also there's little things that you can make mistakes on and not even realize. For instance, when I first started selling, I was using a lot of flat, I set cost, right? $9.99 for shipping. And I knew it would be about that, but I didn't have in my policies that I wasn't shipping to Puerto Rico, or that the cost would be more to Puerto Rico, right? So something that might only cost $7.99 to ship in state or in the nearby might be $40 to ship to Puerto Rico, right? So little things like that can cost you a lot. So, and having your dimensions, right? Sometimes you copy a listing, you don't change the dimensions, and you have a return on an item that the dimensions were wrong and you're paying shipping back. It can be brutal, right? Because the price that the customer's paying or eBay's paying, you can lose money if you're not paying attention to those details and if you don't have a good understanding of how shipping works and how the fees work. So we always suggest, trying it out, going slowly when you're first starting, and learn from those mistakes. Once you make a mistake, it's fine. It was an expensive lesson, but don't do it again.
Yeah. And there's the other side of that too, on Amazon or eBay. So on Amazon, there's pay per click, right? You pay for how many times people click on your item to be able to get more sales. You could also do that with eBay, but usually people do promoted listings. And I had a month on eBay that I did promoted listings, and I had them at, I think I put everything like 2% above the trending rate. And yeah, I made a lot of gross profit, but my net profit was not looking good. And if you're not careful and you have too high of promoted listings, you can destroy your business. Like, you can end up losing money. You just need to be careful. And cost is everything when it comes to that. So make sure that your cost is low enough that if you end up having a certain amount of fees, you're still ending up profitable in the end. Now, this one's kind of an interesting one because, you all get stuck. I do this too. I've been selling for a while, and I just end up picking up stuff that I used to think was profitable, right? Or I made a bulk buy on something. Now, I haven't done this yet. All right. But this happens a lot with, let's say, on Amazon, right? On Amazon, you watch these gurus on TikTok or wherever, and they scan the Amazon app and they find something and they're like, oh, wow, look at this. This thing is, selling for $50 and it only costs, $20 in store. But then you didn't look at the Amazon ranking, or you didn't go to Keepa and see how many times Amazon has a thing in stock. Because once Amazon has something in stock, the price is going to drop, right? Or there's the other side on eBay. You don't check the sell-through rate, right? We talked about this before on our previous episode about sourcing. You see that it's sold once. You don't do the research on therapy. You don't see how many times this item has sold. And so you end up buying a ton of it, but it only sells like once a month and you end up losing a ton of money. So you got to be careful. You have to make sure that, you're not taking risks without doing the research. You got to make sure you're doing the research, because just seeing something that is, let's say, hey, I'm making $30 on this, but you're not checking ranking. You're not checking when Amazon has in stock, or on eBay, you're not seeing how many times an item sold. If you keep making purchases like that, you will destroy your reselling business. So hopefully these few things we talked about here, being out of stock will destroy your business, not paying attention to detail, cases closed without seller resolution, losing money in fees and bad shipping, and taking risks without research. We want you all to be successful. We want you to be profitable. And with that being said, make sure to be real,
be relevant,
and be reselling. Leads.
Peace.